I think a little bit of both. I think we're definitely more talented this year with a lot of guys. I think they definitely stepped up to those game plan, and they were working off what the Bulldogs and South Carolina State was giving us. And I think everything kind of worked, especially in the second half, where we definitely opened up more and definitely looked a lot better in that second half of the game Saturday. So on offense, I mean, you gotta give credit to Shai Werts, quarterback. I mean, he had 170 plus yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, looked confident, looked comfortable. That's been the key all offseason was looking comfortable, looking confident, and he looked that way in the run game. He had 7 passes, I think went 5 for 7 for like 20 yards or so. But the big thing that I still struggle to accept with Werts is his. He doesn't want to pitch it as much. You know, he's still a run first guy. He's still a I'm going to take the hit kind of guy, which is good for a lot of times. It gets us yards, but in some of those times, you know, especially this week and next week against Clemson, these guys that are going to be able to get to him, he can't run it every time. So he's going to have to pitch it. He's going to have to hand it off more, and that's where it kind of struggled for him. On offense, I think our offensive line as a unit looked really good. They got 3 freshmen out there on the starting 5. And to see their first action and do as well as they did was really good. No penalties on false starts. So on that side of the ball, Shai Werts in the offensive line. It's spread out more, and it's a bit faster than it was in the 90s. It's faster paced. That's where you get the spread and you get more plays out of the playbook. You know, because Werts is in the shotgun, he's able to throw the ball if he wants. He's able to think about it more. I thought I did well. I would like to see some more passes, just because Wesley Kennedy, Colby Ransom, Ellis Richardson. We've got these guys that can catch the ball and can get open and have size and speed on the cornerbacks in the backfield. So I'd like for us to take advantage of that. Maybe. Coach Lunsford said in the press conference on Tuesday that we're going to see more of the playbook this week against UMass. And I hope in that is more passing plays and more spreading the offense out more, rather than Werts taking the ball every play. Yeah, I mean, our defense is going to be our strong point, especially our backfield. Josh Moon back there, Mcclain Brinson. Kendall Vilder, our defense secondary is going to be one of the best in the country. Whereas last year, that's where we got beat every game. One game in particular was New Mexico State here in Paulson, and where they just over the top every play was just beating them. And I think South Carolina State didn't throw it a lot. They'll be tested big this week because UMass has 2 quarterbacks that can throw it really well. And so they're going to be tested for the first time this year, but I think they'll be able to step up. And when they don't step up, we still have we have a good defensive front that can do well as well. And our defense is strong, and unlike last year where we had a strong defense, but the offense wasn't backing it up, this year in one game, the offense has done their part as well. They scored on a lot of drives this year, whereas last year the defense was playing well, but the offense wasn't getting a lead, wasn't scoring. And the defense can only do so much. So the defense definitely, with that experience, with the depth, is going to look really good this year. We got Defensive Player of the Week, which is awesome for him, and kind of an upset. I think a lot of names that were being thrown around, but Tamarcio, a senior, was not one that was on a lot of people's radar, and then come out in the performance that he did, have that fumble recovery. He actually ran right past me after he got the fumble recovery, but I mean, he had a fantastic game, and if he can continue that, for sure. I mean, why wouldn't you have Reese up there? But yeah, he's definitely a guy that's just one more name that you can throw into the ring of good defensive players that we have. For sure, I think Grant Walker will get a lot of touches. He actually ended the game. He had 5 rushes in a row where he ended the game and that ran the clock out. Cunningham's an interesting thing. Andrew Cunningham, 3-star from Florida, did really well. Had a great offseason. Because of the new redshirt rule, where they're allowed to play 4 games, I think this week against UMass team, a non-conference opponent, would be a good trial run for him. Cunningham, I think they're trying to save him for when Fields and Garrett leave this year. They're still going to have a really good back that knows what he's doing, that has the skills to replace two senior backs in Garrett and Fields. And so I think they're going to be more reserved to use Cunningham rather than Walker. And LaRoche is an interesting story. He's good. He's got skills. But I think he's definitely lower on the depth chart than Walker and Cunningham are. I've been saying it all offseason. I think it's even more true now that we've seen both teams play a little bit. This is going to define the season. If they come out and have the same blowout, one-sided affair as we saw this past week, it's going to be a great season. UMass is a good team. Their one win was a dominant win. Their one loss, they got rocked by a very good Boston College team on the road. So it's hard to look at because you have on one side a really good team that you're losing or beating, and then the other side you have a really good team that you're losing to. And so it's kind of hard to tell, and that's where we are this week. UMass is going to be testing themselves as well going into this, but this is a huge test for Georgia Southern. You add that with last year where they were blown out in Amherst in Massachusetts, where both teams went in winless, and Georgia Southern walked out of there winless with a 30-point margin. That cannot happen. If that happens again, it's going to be a very long season for Georgia Southern. We played them twice before last season. The two other times we played them was once we played an international championship. In 1998, we lost. And then 1999, we got revenge on them in the playoffs. Last year, we lost to them. This year, hopefully we continue that trend of getting revenge on the Minutemen.